What do you mean by last words? I mean that you might be hoping for a few extra points if you appeal somehow to the crowd. After all, for today's showdown, you just need to avoid coming in last. If you do well enough, then maybe you'll be able to worm out of the punishment game. She freaking admitted it right there. It's like, that's what she's doing, man. It's just like, you might be able to, you know, get extra points if you appeal to people. Oh, you are implying that Keiichi and Benno is going to take last place, aren't you? No, this old man wasn't trying to say anyone Benno came in last or anything. Mion checked repulsively. In contrast, Satoku's smile was growing and somehow awkward. Oh, right. This bento was filled with last night's side dishes. That means it was basically a bento that Satoku made. And Mion outright said it would come in last place. Yeah, that is a bit mean. Oh, compared to everything else, it's kind of understandable. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Or maybe, well, he can't exactly do that. It's like, yes, Satoku put her heart and soul into this bento. He'd be like, oh wait, not supposed to say that. Just like you're supposed to act like you made it. Keiichi, aren't you being a little mean? Didn't I say that exact same thing? It's like, isn't our a bit mean? Poor Keiichi-kun. Renner, Keiichi knew he couldn't lose today's bento showdown beforehand, didn't he? He did all that grandstanding yesterday, well aware of that. I don't think there's any reason to go easy on him, do you? Right, Satoku. You know what? I just like envision. Imagine if Keiichi did his, like, actual cooking. Just shows up with absolute shit. Everything's burnt. The rice isn't even properly cooked. Nothing looks edible, essentially. And everyone's just like, oh, what the hell, Keiichi? That's not freaking... That's not cooked properly. He'd be like, no, you see, this is... And he goes into like that business kind of shit that he's just like, I am the Iron Chef! This is my masterpiece! Don't test it, because it is just so significantly better than anything else that simply eating it would make you fall into a ecstasy and forget everything or some shit. I don't know. He could probably make it work, but in the end he'd probably still lose in that situation, because that would be shit. Yes, you are right. And he came here with this mess. It makes me laugh. Wait, Satoku-chan, you can't laugh at him. Well, that pen was just so ridiculous, I can't help but laugh. The side dishes look like they were bought from a shop. It's really disillusioning. Look, this one was just taken out of a can, wasn't it? This Kuchenberg here isn't cut cleanly, like the knife didn't go all the way through. Kei-chan, you never used a knife, did you? Your lack of experience is apparent. No, this goes beyond a simple lack of experience. The presentation is fairly monotonous as well. It's almost a shock to see such a lack of taste. This is awkward, isn't it? Just like they're slagging off his food there, but she, right there, Satoku, is the one who made it. But she has to go along with it, isn't it? Don't, like, give away that she was the one who made it. Even as Mion's essentially, like, pointing out all the flaws in it. It was my first experience putting food into a bento box, so, of course it's not gonna look too good. Kei-chan, there's a bigger problem than how to put it into the box. Tomita, Okamura, explain please. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were chosen from our many underclassmen. Tomita-kun quickly adjusted his glasses and took a step forward. He's like, right. I've got glasses, so I can relate to that. But I don't do them in a dramatic way. It's more in like the way just like, now keep it in place. Don't have to do it much with my newer glasses. Because unlike my old glasses, they don't fall off my face simply by freaking looking forward. They'll just be like, look down, and just like, whoop, falls right off my freaking face. But he's like all dramatic. He's like, just my glasses. The fill floor in my Arasan's bento. It's the coloration. As you know, there are 3 primary colors forming the basis of all colors. So if you want a well-balanced color scheme, then, excluding white and black, you need those 3 colors. I just picture him stand there just in his glasses the same way that Shizune from Karawa Shoujo was. And nevertheless, if you remove the white and black from my Varasan's Benno, all that would be left is dark green. Ah, dark green. No one will want to eat it if you describe it like that. Dark green? That indicates vegetables. Vegetables indicate healthy. Healthy indicates it doesn't taste all that good. It's weird, isn't it? It's like junk food. It's like, oh, it tastes great, but it's not good for you. Healthy food is kind of just like, it's either or it's just kind of like, yeah. It's like salad. It doesn't really have much of a taste to it, for example. But I don't mind a salad, you know. Salad's pretty nice. You just like have like, I'd have stuff like ham, salad, pickles, cucumbers, tomatoes, like that, beetroot. It makes a nice meal. It's not a very filling type of meal, but it's there. It tastes alright with all that combined. But on its own, imagine that. It's like, okay, here's a salad. It's like, where's the rest of it? No, you just get the salad. You don't get everything that goes into it. It's the salad itself. Oh, that reminds me, I had a cooked dinner a while back. And the cabbage. You know how cabbage can be really dark looking? I mean, that's dark green, isn't it? It was significantly dark in the way it looked. I was like, did you put seaweed on this or what? It literally looked like seaweed. Tasted okay with everything else, I guess. Well, it didn't really have much of a taste to it in general, really. But, you know, that's how we usually do it. I had forgotten. Tomita-kun and Nakamura-kun had been brought out by Rick-chan and Satoko, so we were trying their hardest to let them win and make me lose, weren't they? Oh, if only they knew. Which one of them is the one that had a crush on Satoko? Just like, oh, come here a second. You'd be like, by the way, Satoko's the one who actually made this. Like, what? I gotta praise the shit out of it now. Ah, what strong wills they have. It was charming, if only because they were working so hard despite having been bought out. I overlooked what they actually did to convince them to give them their bentos, because by the sound of it, they didn't give them their own bentos. Because if they had their own bentos, they wouldn't need to borrow someone else's, would they? So with that, I think Keiichi might have a chance, you know. He'd be like, oh, Satoko actually prepared this one, and that would be even more like just, oh my god, I'll praise the shit out of it. It was charming if only because they were working so hard despite having been bought out. Side dishes have no spirit in them either. They're all pre-packaged store canned food. In other words, how the three necessary requirements for a bento: love, spirit, and taste. We can assert that my Varasan's bento is lacking two of these. The classroom, convinced by the or whatever of the mystery, they were thoroughly baffled with great Monsieur Shrum's admiration. Since I've still got that source out, I don't think I've heard that word properly before. I mean, like I said, I read these novels back in the day, so I probably saw the word back then, and I don't understand it. Just finding the source. Oh, here it is. Clarification, comment, commentary. Explaining, explanation, exposition, gloss. So essentially, what else? Yeah, you could simply just be like that. The classroom convinced by the, okay, no, you can't do the commentary. You could be like the comments or the explanation. Yeah, explanation would work. Convinced by the explanation of the mystery they were thoroughly baffled with, raised mysterious grunts of admiration. But no, they have to go with a thesaurus and be like, no, let's find a different word. No heart and no spirit. It's decided then. Those are the two things it's not lacking. She put her heart and soul into that meal. Into that bento. It's my bar.
This may sound cold, but if you realize how much time coffee is because of all this teaspoon, is that enough? In any case, everything is fine as long as I'm not doing the punishment thing.
Lena was given a dry smile as well, with a musical note, in a sing-song fashion.
Oh, it's been settled, Keiichi-san. You're going to be the one doing the punishment game.
She laughed in such a vile manner, but she didn't look like she meant it. Well, naturally, she's the one who made it. I knew that Sudoku was speaking ill of a bento that she'd practically made herself, in front of the little classroom. I could tell how painful that laughter was. Okamura-kun said before that his bento lacked spirit. The lying little shit. If he's the one who has a crush on Sudoku, then he's like scored no points. But among all the bento laid out here today, there wasn't a single one with as much spirit as this one. Besides, honestly, I'd imagine like he'd just get friend-zoned anyway, wouldn't it? This meal that she made for me yesterday in such a good mood. Though it looked like she was in a bad one, I won't let it end with this slander.
Well then, last place, Keiichi-san. Please admit your honest defeat already.
No, it's been quite a while into this now. Oh, but really, like, gotten back to the voice acting properly. Like, at the start of the recording, I couldn't freaking do the voice acting worth shit. Now that I'm a bit more awake. You notice that the longer I record, the more I kind of remember how to do those kind of voices. Anyway, just a moment. Speaking of their voice, the expressions of all the members of the club changed. Mion clicked her tongue. This man was baring his fangs at the last moment again. That is the Keiichi way. My bento was defeated because it lacked spirit. That's how you explain it. Am I wrong, Okamura-kun? Okamura-kun, who had suddenly been placed in the spotlight, looked flustered for a moment, but immediately he stammered in reply that I was right. How do you measure spirit? By difficulty, by effort, by sweat or tears, by its manifestation. Then how would you rate these burns that are still on my hands?
Wow, those are oil burns.
He's gonna fit in his own failure with cooking. Wouldn't expect anything less from you, Keiichi, you sly little bastard. Well, you sly bastard, not sly little bastard. He's probably pretty tall, or, average height at least. Great, the burn marks from when I almost caught the fire yesterday looked just like I was having a ton of trouble cooking. I could clearly tell that the classroom was forced to acknowledge the effort I put into it. I see. You turn your failures at cooking due to lack of skill into scars of hard work instead. As I thought, I cannot falter around this man. That's right, I lack skill. I'm so bad at cooking that my grandstanding yesterday was pitiful. But I didn't run away. I fought, and I delivered these results. Is that not spirit? What do you think?
No one's to acknowledge it. Nobody can keep on going and spirit doesn't get valued.
Those in class started to nod in agreement. Okay, the tables are turning. But Tomato-kun and Okamura-kun, brought out by the objects of their recruited affection, weren't about to desire. They shifted to the counterattack, clearly exceeding the price they were paid. I see, I understand your feelings, my boss-son. However, if spirit was all that mattered in cooking, the world wouldn't need chefs. That's right. If a chef brought you a burnt steak, that's probably the other one, isn't it? That's right. If a chef brought you burnt steak and said that they put their spirit into it tried hard, would you pay them? You wouldn't, would you? It's the same thing. That's right. That's how it goes. The male students took Tomita and Nakamura's side. Why is it gender related? Like, yes, the females are like, yeah, he worked hard. We're in your corner, Keiichi. The male students on the other hand are, well, it sucks. Fuck you, Keiichi. We're not freaking falling for that shit. Ah, they did have a point. What about consideration? Even if you did get a totally black snake, if I knew how much the mother who made it struggled, I would eat it. I would eat it all. He's, well, yeah, he is that type of protagonist, isn't he? Just like, how many times have you seen in an anime or whatever, where like a character has to eat someone's food, oh damn, but they won't freaking just be like upfront about it. They're like, oh, this is awful, but I gotta eat it, I don't want to hurt their feelings, so blah 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 blah. Keiichi would totally do the same. In fact, I don't think he ever experienced food of death. Maybe he does. He's experienced food that tastes good, but is overkill. I'm pretty sure that. Actually, I think that might happen in the Tatarigoroshi is the one I'm thinking of, maybe. Because I don't remember it happening in Tatarigoroshi, but there's this one scene. Or maybe it was an anime-only scene, I don't know. Either way it goes, he's experienced quite a bit of that. This time, the female students in the class took my side. Well, they already were on your side from the previous one, weren't they? Good. Now we're even. Girls versus boys. It's traditional. Besides, the venom is a refinement of one's love given form. Only means something when the other person feels that way. Does your venom make us feel that way, my Bar-san? No, it doesn't make me feel that way. Yummy! Yummy! Boo! The others in the class began to boo loudly. Now even Okumura-san was panicking as well. Oh no! No, all the girls in the classroom hate me now! Just like, but then he'd be like, why do I care anyway? He has a crush on Rika or Satoku, so it doesn't matter. Order! Will the spectators please refrain from making remarks? Who's the one to say this in order to prove much of my... here's Keiichi. Your Honor, in order to prove how much of my spirit has gone into this matter, I call Miss Higurashi, an authority in the culinary arts, that stands. What is it, court room now, or courthouse, whatever?
Rena thinks this bento has spirit in it. It might be rather artless in places. But I think cooking gives me just about outward appearances.
The girls in the class again gave cries of support as they all applauded. In response, all the men in the class began to boo! Why is it worded like that, though? In response, all the men. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, Rena, Mion, and Keiichi are the oldest kids in the class, essentially. The oldest students. I don't know how old everyone actually is, because it's a weird kind of class, really, isn't it? It's like, people of all ages. But everyone aside from them three is, you know, quite a number of years younger. I don't know how old Satoku and Rika are, but like, most of the class are either around that age, or even younger a little bit. So, none of them are technically men, they're still boys. If you're gonna say men, why not the women in the class? But no, it should say boys, man. Your Honor, the opinions of my Bar-san and Rika-san are extremely sentimental and not involving with common sense. They are unsuitable to us and used as evidence. Order! The prosecution's objection is sustained. Go ahead. Let's replace the bento in question with a birthday present, for example. Let's say on my birthday, Tomita received a hand-knitted sweater. And Okumura received a bookstore gift certificate for 10,000 yen. That felt strangely real. Was it actually just an example? Probably. Common sense dictates which of them has the spirit. It is, of course, the hand-knitted sweater. If we went back to the bento, this would be handmade sandwiches. And the gift certificate, which is nothing more than money, allows you to buy things. In other words, it's the same as simple, meaningless canned goods. You got a point. It's like, if you buy a present, there's more foreplay into it. If you just give someone money, there's not much foreplay into it. But you know, sometimes that's what people just want, isn't it? It's like, I don't want a gift of any sort, just give me money. Murmur, 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 murmur. The boys and girls all began to argue amongst themselves about presents. They were all talking about what they received as presents in the past. Damn! A bit of cool, he changed the subject to something that could easily grab everyone's attention. Not bad. I lose the initiative. If not this rate. Objection! This matter regards the spirit put into the bendo. It is entirely different from birthday presents, as they are each unique situations. Overruled. Will the prosecution please continue? Now, what's important here is the fact that the spirit of the giver and the spirit of the receiver are totally different. With a handmade sweater that looks a little bit askew and a 1,000 yen bookstore gift placed here before your very eyes, which would you say is the better choice? Gift certificate, right? It's 100,000 yen. Can you calculate how many comic books you could buy with that? You could instantly complete a full collection of, if it was around 10 volume volumes, thousands of happy, humorous, slightly perverted manga. It's pretty much manga in a nutshell, really, isn't it? I mean, how many manga don't have something a bit perverted in it? Well, one I can think of is Mushishi, but that's like, it's a very unique one nowadays, because it's unlike anything I've ever read. It's weird and interesting, but it doesn't have any of that kind of fan service stuff that you see pretty much everywhere in manga and anime and all that shit. There's always at least one fan service scene, right? But I don't think there is one in Mushishi at all. Any other ones I can think of? Did Attack on Titan have any of that? I don't know. Don't think so. So there are some that don't really, well, there are a number that don't focus on that, but there's always something like that, so hence the likely bit kind of still stands. The bliss of your sweetheart can't be compared to the sweater! How much would that be anyway? Let's say like 1,000 yen is nearly 10 pounds, I think. Maybe. Yeah, that's a decent amount of money, I guess. How much are the manga costs anyway? And the thing is, like, don't live in Japan, right? So when it comes to, like, if you ever buy anything like that, it's usually significantly more expensive than it probably is in its native country. Because it's imported, and it's like, oh no, we're gonna freaking make this horribly expensive, but there's probably some expensive stuff there as well, but besides, when manga, you can actually buy manga that's been translated, it's an official English release, really, isn't it? The boys unanimously praise that with applause. Materialistic brats. Yeah, but all guys that age are like that. Yeah, it's like, what, just boys? And just like, no, girls as well. Yeah, materialistic brats. Everyone, well, it's true. You don't really see a kid very often that isn't, a bit on the materialistic brat scale, where it's like, I want everything, I want materialistic goods, bitch. It's like, I don't care about no freaking meaningful shit. I just want my goddamn games and my freaking technology. Fuck you. I don't know. Even I would choose the gift certificate over the sweater in that case. Yeah, you know, that's a point, really, isn't it? Just make me think, it's like, as a kid, it's like, something like socks, it's like, nowadays, when you get older, it's like socks. Oh my god, the holy grail of socks has been found at last. It's weird how that works, isn't it? Just like the difference in age can make you look at things differently. Socks is definitely one of them. You take socks off your feet, they disappear. You'll never find them again. And when you do, which is a contradiction, they're usually not paired together. So you're just like, where is his brother gone? He's gone off with another sock or something. It's just like, that's why when you get like a bunch of socks for Christmas or something, it's like, now I can finally like use socks, wear socks that match. It's been so long. Anyways, where was I? Hey, wait, weren't you guys the ones who said it was about love, spirit, and taste right at the start? Since when did taste drop all? That's the stance they were talking now. Thinking.
I believe that this has demonstrated that the spirit of the giver and the spirit of the receiver have no casual relationship. Yes, no matter how much my Marasan struggle to make this better, I cannot enter into a consideration for the rest of us on the receiving end.
More sophisticated, Kamira-kun. It has plenty of spirit. Well, that gets through on us is the receiver's problem.
That's right.
Boo! Taste is an important enemy of the women.
What was that? Ugly.
What? Ah, now the courtroom's in chaos. Rabble, 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 rabble. I was thinking about freaking old South Park episodes where they're at like a fair or something, and like they're trying to win tens of filth dolls and everything. It's like rabble, 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 rabble. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different episode. I think it's like there's another episode where it's like outside a building, everyone's all like rabble, 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 rabble. It's like it's amusing because it's equivalent to just being like a freaking sound effect. And it's like, you know, like you see in a freaking comic or manga, so they're like rabble, 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 but they're actually saying that loud. It's like they're going mutter, 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 mutter. Ah, now the courtroom's in chaos, but I can't allow myself to lose. And not only to avoid the punishment game, but also to protect Sotoku's honor. Now then, do the defendants have a response to give? Slowly and strongly I nod and step up to the defendant. Again? With these blunt and saurus-like words. Not even in here. Let's see if we can find a similar word where it might be under. I think it's in here because it doesn't really do work like that, does it? I'm assuming it's probably like a stand or something, and I'm just unfamiliar with the name, right? Yeah, here it is. It's understand. Yeah. Kind of knew what it was, but at the same time, you know, that's an unfamiliar wording for me. Probably like, I don't know, maybe that's what they call it in courtrooms, I don't know. But they usually aren't they just like, will the defendants go to the stand and explain this shit and blah? Well, it's probably not instead of dies, I don't know. Dies? Kamira-kun or Kamura-kun? You two really think you can beat me with mere words? The prosecution just said that we should value the gift without bashing it on the spirit of the giver, correct? At some point I began speaking formally. Okay, 1 minute. Prosecution just said that we should value the gift without passing it on the spirit of the giver, correct? Gotta be a bit more like, professional now.
Yeah, that's right. No matter how much you labor to make that bento, that labor should not factor into our grading.
Then I have a question for the prosecution. If I, my borrow, were to take the bento I made for today and placed it beside one bought from the store, would both of these be given the same score? The prosecution needs to speak. Gotcha! That's right, the convenience store bento doesn't even come close to a homemade one. No matter how badly made it is, it has far more spirit than a bento that you just bought would ever have. You see, that spirit is being graded, meaning the spirit the cook put into the bento has already reached the recipients. Admit it! With those impactful words drawn in the air behind me, I pointed my finger. The girls, led by Brenner, broke into applause. Some of the boys were admitting it too.
Yeah, I'll admit it.
You admitted it. You admitted it, right? Now let's move to why a convenience store bento has no spirit in it. What exactly is the spirit in a bento in the first place?
Objection! I want to satisfy the seal of court by using abstract expressions.
Objection overruled. This sounds interesting, so listen until he's done. Got them. Now I'll show you the difference between us. Your Honor, I'd like to call Miss Rika Furude to the stand as a witness. Even for Rika-chan, that must have seemed like a bolt from the blue. There's no doubt that she never dreamed the point of my spear would be aiming at her. But Rika-chan, you've said it before. For this showdown, it doesn't matter. Rika Furude-san, your bento today was very well made. Looks delicious. Yes, Satsuka and Rika-chan's bentos have been made of half of tomato-kuns and okamura-kuns. The prosecutor's faces turned pale, but they were too late. Renner, would you bring Okamura-kun's bento over here?
Okay, sure. Your Honor, my bento has no relevance to this case.
Overruled. Your Honor, I submit Okamura-kun's bento box as evidence. Look at it. Look at what's inside. There's only half in there. Not about well as half. Please, look a little more closely. See?
Ah, they're exactly the same.
Your Honor, you've seen it. Miss Rika Furude's bento is stolen from Okamura-kun. There is no way such a thing could have spirit in it.
No, that's just a coincidence.
It's already obvious. Spirit. It's a game of catch between the giver and the receiver. The bento box, then, is the ball. That bento was something Okamura-kun was given from mother to son. That means Okamura-kun is the only one who can feel the spirit from this bento box. Now that it's been disturbed and being stolen, it no longer has that spirit. Dun, dun, dun! Yeah! That did it.
Huh? What? Is that true? Rika-chan, is that true?
I see how it is. Mion, the judge closed her arms and began to holler. I couldn't even take a guess as to what Mion was laughing at. Frankly, I didn't know whether I would win or lose. Okay, before announcing my judgment, I'll start from the top. Shh. The entire classroom quieted. Now, if only Higurashi would follow suit and shut the fuck up. Noisy bastards. First, from an objective standpoint, there is no doubt that the bento of the accused, Keiichi Maibara, must be seen as poorly made. This is something that the grading results clearly display. But as Kei-chan said, cooking is not all about taste. The spirit put into it should be considered subtle seasoning. For grading, though, that would only amount to a few points. It's so subtle that it's not enough to alter the results.
Now then, I'd like to mention the original reason for today's Benno Showdown. What was the reason for it? That's right. We started to see well the accused Keiichi Maibara could cook for himself and to measure the results. Yeah, that's right. Keiichi-kun did make his own bento.
That stung my conscience a bit, but for the showdown it didn't matter.
So the whole basis behind this showdown was to cook a meal for yourself. In other words, whether or not the meal was homemade. Rika-chan neglected to do that is a much bigger problem than how good her bento is. In other words, is she disqualified? Nippon. Rika-chan let out a nippon, looking as though she had prepared herself for this outcome.
Don't take it personally, Rika-chan. At our club, things like that don't matter.
Keiichi did well like I thought. You tried your hardest until the very end. Rika-chan demanded I lower my head, then she did.
It's weird how she does that all the time, isn't it? It's usually the other way around, like the protagonist always like petting them on the head, it's like, yeah, I'll ruffle your hair. But she's just like, no, lean forward so I can pet you on the head because I'm significantly shorter.
With that over with, this case is closed. Today, the last place goes to Rika Furude.
The first time she's lost, now we've seen happen. Whoa! That miraculous turnaround!
You know, if anyone, well, no, I don't think anyone could badmouth Curry to the teacher and, you know, get out with any scars. But I don't know, maybe Rika could do it. Maybe. And last place went to Rika-chan, the one everyone had least expected. The whole classroom went wild. I'm amazed you managed to avoid coming in last place with such a terrible bento. Sudoku looked at me hatefully, but spoke in a vague kind of voice. There's no way I'd come in last. There's nothing in a bento that would deserve last place. But it's got ready-made side dishes and canned goods, and has no style, and...
Crap! Sudoku was speaking more and more poorly of herself as time went on, so I roughly grabbed her head and began to stroke it. Pat, 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 pat. I told you, spirit is important. This bento isn't all about appearance, it's got all kinds of flavors in it.
But spirit isn't the only thing. It tastes totally weird, and...
What about it is weird? I thought it was great. It was absolutely great. That's why I packed it. If dinner last night had been bad, then I would never have brought it to school. I would have come here with some bread and a milk carton.
But...
Oh, just shut up already. I caressed her head, swinging it from side to side. Bam, 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 bam. At some point, Rena had come up behind us. She was giggling to herself. That was the face of someone who had known everything from the beginning. When did you realize I hadn't made it?
When you showed us your burns, I guess. I mean, there's nothing in your bento that you needed oil for. Understand, don't you think you are misunderstanding something? I didn't do anything. Sudoku-chan, you weren't the one who made this bento. Then did Keiichi make it by himself after all? Okay, then I guess he did.
Rena smiled roguishly and turned from Sudoku to me.
When you cut Higurashi hold a knife like this and go like this, as for the colors, you can express all sorts of things if you place vegetables in the right way.
This lecture was clearly not meant for me.
But you've gotten a lot better since the last time you showed us. I see you've been studying. If you keep this up, I'll bet you'll be able to make better and better dishes in no time.
She continued saying words clearly meant for Sudoku while facing me instead. Sudoku was wearing an ambiguous look and couldn't even nod her head at all. Anyway, no matter what anyone says, I like the way my bento is today. I'm not going to share it with anyone else either. I'll eat the whole thing by myself.
Wow, how greedy. Rena wants to try some too.
As we were going back and forth, Sudoku rubbed her eyes as though she were drowsy, and announced to Mion and everyone else.
Excuse me, the truth is, I got Tomita-san to give me some of his bento.
stupid! Fire alarm! My dad, he's pulling a Keiichi!
You know what, I must investigate. I will be right back.
You know what, that was fitly timed, I'll admit with that. My dad freaking burning something on the grill. How do you even manage that, man? Like I said, the grill, whenever I cooked back in the day, when I used to cook, now I barely ever cook at all. It's very once in a blue moon kind of like. But I was a master of the grill, man. It's like freaking barbecue, man. All you gotta do is just pay attention to it, turn it over when need be, and you're done. That's all you need. Well, that's what I cooked anyway. That's all I needed. Well, like I said in the previous recording, my dad has a habit of forgetting shit. So he's like, oh no, it's burnt to a crisp. I don't know how many times I've had a pizza that's pretty much near charcoal sometimes. I've even eaten charcoal-like pizza. And I remember one point, just like when my mother cooked a pizza for a change, I was like, what is this unusual taste? Because I was so used to it being burnt. It was surreal. And then there's when my brother makes a pizza, he goes the extra mile, he does. He actually slices them into pieces. Because like my dad, he doesn't do that. So it's like, not only is it burnt and hard to, you know, like break it off into pieces, but it's exactly like that. It's just like no individual pieces. So it takes forever to eat it, and by the time it's freaking fully eaten, it's gone a bit cold. What I'm saying is, my dad burns food somewhat often, and I found that fittingly timed. What would have been even more fitting is if this had happened in the previous recording, at the point where Keiichi was burning his food, because that would have been hilarious. Stupid Hojo, what are you saying?
Stupid Hojo, what are you saying?
It's probably, them, I guess. If she kept it a secret, then at least she would have been saved. Minakun looked at her with an expression filled with regret and surprise. Judging by that, Sumita is probably the one that has a crush on her then. And Okamura has a crush on Riku.
Huh, is that true? Really? Oh my star.
It's a Pokemon, actually. Oh my star. Oh my star. Oh my star. You've unintentionally created a fossil Pokemon. Mion spun her finger around and pointed to the hallway, sentencing Satoko to the punishment game as well. Satoko left the classroom behind her, completely prepared as though she was going with Rika-chan on an errand. What they were really going was, something much, much worse.
I gotta let Rika go alone. We'll come near to the very depths of hell.
The depths of curry hell.
You don't think to go that far. My word, Keiichi-san really is terrible too. Humiliating Rika like that. He is truly a rotten person.
I didn't mean... I couldn't just return Satoko's kindness with malice.
Maybe Satoko really is silly.
Rika-chan spoke so that only I could hear grinning happily.
Now then, let us be off, Rika. Punishment games are one of our duties as club members.
Satoko seemed awfully happy, not frustrated in the slightest, like she always was when she lost. Damn, Rika-chan's right after all. Everyone here is a moron. We're the Moron Club, we're all idiots. And semi-proud of it, possibly. Yeah, I'll come clean too. It's just like... that's why you said we're all idiots, just like, fuck it, I will confess as well that this isn't made by me, so that he loses as well. But I thought you can only have one loser. You can't have multiple losers. Those are just simply because it's disqualified. I'll come clean too, Mion. I didn't make my banner today. I was the same, so I'm going with them. For the punishment game.
Huh?
Even you, Kei-chan. What's going on?
Good luck. It's a punishment game, I mean. I'll get the first aid kit ready.
Call an ambulance in advance, will you? And maybe a hearse, just in case. This may be death row for them. Leaving a bewildered Mion and a happily smiling Rena behind in the classroom, I went into the hallway to face his sentence.